like one of the worst things that can happen in the workplace is like stagnating.
Mm,
And I hear people talk about this, like that it's true. Like sometimes people are working and there's a big problem and things are super stressful. Like that is sometimes a thing that like I might be helping folks with. But like often, more often than one would anticipate, it's a sense of saying, I I don't feel like I am growing anymore,
mm,
and I want to figure out how to regain that. And particularly for teams, and as you said, like so once you can start to connect like the whole team's goal and objective to like some individual contributions, sometimes that points out like what would be a great growth area for different team members. But also, some of this can be asking like helping your team define like what are some ways they might want to grow in and then even matching them to where they might contribute based on that. So but the thing I want to point out is so there's three parts of this and I often say how do you help your team cultivate some power for themselves
mm,
because again as human beings we feel good when we have a sense of control and part of that is knowing we have the capability to meet a challenge, to be at our edge and to push that edge. But there's some other parts about growth. So we also said help your team build their visibility and their influence. So, like influence, there's what we can deliver with our capabilities, our results to the team. But influence is a little different. Influence is like, hey, are my ideas, impactful? And so, some great ideas, not just going beyond like helping your team identify where they want to grow, is like, yeah, do you source ideas from them? Do you
mm,
have them participate in the conversation, even about what our priorities might be? Um, but other pieces might be how do you help your team members work together, like be peers for each other versus having you be the hub of everything. So like
mm,
everything can go through you, but you can start to grow your team, each person's influence if they're starting to work and create with each other versus always having to go through, you as a leader, but also outside of the team, right? So again, as a leader, you could always be the connectors to other teams, or you could start to increase the influence of like your team connecting across the silo, eliminating the
mm,
silo. And then the other piece is visibility. And this, I think, is a lot about recognition of the ways people are growing and contributing, both to like their team members, other team members, but also like, for example, when you're a leader and maybe to what is their skip level. So maybe your boss, or just how are you mentioning like what individuals are doing? How are you helping them build their visibility? And so these are all forms of power, both our capability to produce results, our ability to work with and influence others and have that kind of impact. And then finally, like, are we seen for that? And
mm.
these all are like pieces of like that motivational puzzle for a team member. Um, and yeah, so that's what I think about when it's like help your team feel powerful. You as the boss sort of have some innate power, but like how do you help share that power with them?